Hey guys, it's Homestead Dad again. Last night there was a bit of an accident on the farm, on the homestead. This shelter here, we had bought last year. We put up again this fall. Homestead Boy 1 put it up, and we used the stakes that they gave us. Let me show you the stakes that they provide with this unit. They're these stakes right here. They're pretty much garbage. So, a few weeks ago, we had some strong winds, and the winds pulled this shelter up right out of the ground because those stakes didn't do anything, and it just flipped it over, and we were able to get it back set up, but some of the posts had bent. And once posts bend, they lose all their strength. So I had put in some rebar. Let me show you. You can see the rebar here. I had put rebar in for stakes so that it didn't blow away again. And the rebar worked really well. But last night we got some really strong winds again, and it was pushing the whole shelter over. So instead of staying straight up like this, it was just kind of the whole shelter was going like that. The stakes were staying in the ground, but the shelter was pushing over, and our van was parked right here next to it. We used this shelter for my wife's car, and it was going to fall over into the van. So I came out here quick, and I was trying to pull it back upright, and I was going to take all the tarps off of it so it didn't, pull. And what I had done was I had grabbed at one of the unions like this and pulled, and it grabbed this finger, it pinched, and it ripped off the whole, like, most of the pad of my finger. There's a pretty good chunk of finger missing. It was really cold out. I had been holding pipes when I was pulling them back, so my hand was pretty cold. I knew it hurt, but I pulled out my flashlight and looked at it, and most of the pad of my finger was gone. So I ran inside the house, and I had my wife, who's a doctor, take a look at it. I kind of rinsed it out to make sure there's nothing in it, because the steel kind of has a coating on it, and it wasn't stopping bleeding. So she said, you probably need to go to the emergency room. So I took Homestead Boy 1, we went to the emergency room. This was about 10 o'clock. None of the urgent cares were open because it was 10. And they thought they might have to cauterize it. They were able to pull it together with some stereo strips, and the bleeding stopped enough that we just did that. So, but I've got a chunk of my finger missing. So it's pretty tender, and it's going to slow me down from doing some work. But I'm going to take this down. We'll figure something else out for a shelter for my wife's car for the winter. But that's what happened last night. Let me show you. I'm going to take you over to where the shelter for the animals is being built. So here is the new shelter, the lean-to off of the chicken coop. You can see the roof there. So I think if you had watched the video if you watched the last video that I posted, I think it was of me up on a ladder, up on top of that roof, installing the purlins. And if we go over here, you can kind of see the purlins. So I got that done, and the next day, that was, I believe, Thursday night. And the next day was Friday. We had stuff going on all day long. I was butchering turkeys in the morning. You'll notice there's no turkeys over there. And we had a basketball game in the evening, so I didn't have time to work on the roof. My dad was kind enough to get the steel roof up for me because he knew the weather was going to turn. Friday was beautiful. It was almost 70. Saturday was 30 and windy and rainy and snowy. So we wanted to get that up as soon as possible. So if you look right on the ends, you can see the purlins right like there and there and there. So he just screwed that onto the purlins, and that's now good. I'm still going to have to put some sort of ridge cap up here in order to keep rain coming through the top. So I wanted to have the ridge cap bought before my dad put on the steel roofing, because then he could install it while he was doing the roofing, but I didn't have time to get over there. It was just too busy that day. So got to do something. Hopefully I don't dent up the roof while I'm up there getting the ridge vent installed or the ridge cap installed. And I also need to figure out what I'm going to do with regards to the sides, the walls here. I don't know if I'm going to use the wood paneling like is there, or if I'm going to use panels like the steel panel roofing. I am open to suggestions. If you guys have used one or the other and really like it or don't like it for some reason, let me know. I'm thinking about using steel panels on the outside and then putting some 2x on the inside so that when the animals push on it and stuff like that, they don't dent the steel panels. So let me know what you guys have done. But hopefully I can get back to work. I mean, the finger's going to slow me down, but it's not going to stop me. So hopefully I can get these walls done so that by next weekend when I have to pick up Prudence, I have someplace out of the wind. Because this right now is rainproof, but not so windproof. And right now, the hand that's holding the tripod for the camera is freezing. So I'm going to cut it short here and say we'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Figure out what I want to do for walls, whether or not it's going to be steel or if I'm going to use the wood panels like I did on the chicken coop here. Oh, could you guys even see me? You guys probably couldn't even